Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 33 of Across America. I'm your host, as always, Jack Austin, and with me,
Again,
Robert.
most of the time.
Robert Lamb.
Yeah.
He did the stupid walk, so
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, but you're here to talk about it.
Yeah, but I'm here to listen to your story.
Okay, really quickly. We just made it to Missouri.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to talk about what it was like walking through Missouri, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But in 5 words or less, what would you say about Missouri?
My wife went to school.
My wife went to school. All right. That's it. That's enough. So, I don't know if that really describes Missouri that great in great
That's
detail.
all I know about Missouri, is that my
Not even that your
wonderful,
wife went to
beautiful
school
wife
there.
went to school there.
Oh, she did go to there.
Yeah,
Because you just
yeah.
said my wife went to school.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you really kind of put me in a box there.
again,
Without sounding like
I'm
a
just-
Neanderthal, wife goes school there.
wife's school there. Hey, trying to really shrink it down.
Yeah.
To 3 words.
School.
School there. Okay, well,
Honestly, though, if I had 5 words to describe it, religion,
okay.
proper,
Okay.
lonely,
Okay. It's kind of mean, but go ahead.
cold.
Cold.
Yeah,
Missouri.
yeah.
Okay. One more.
What do I have?
You got 4. So we need one more word.
Missouri.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, if I was going to describe Missouri, you can't get any more accurate than just saying Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of this podcast,
my wife went there and she said that it would be snowing sometimes during summer.
Wow.
And it would be terrible.
really?
She just was like, "It's awful. I hated it. She would never go back."
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. She loves everybody that she
Right,
interacted with up there. They were
right.
all very nice. She went to a religious school. Whatever, without getting too much into it, but
Right.
she liked the people. She thought they were great, but said she would not be
go
going
back.
back.
All right. Well, those 5 words, remember what those 5 words you used to
I won't.
describe it? Okay.
I won't.
Good. And we'll see if me talking about it ties into how you
Sure.
saw it.
We haven't done this in any other state.
Nope. I'm
Since
just
we
trying
started
something new.
going. I like it.
I'm just trying
I
something
like
new.
it.
And honestly, we're probably not even going to finish with Missouri with
Probably
this episode, but
Yeah.
just let's just see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
As you get more and more south, I might get more and more accurate.
Yeah. Especially Alabama.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll definitely know that one.
All right. No, actually, I think I talked about the last episode was the Steamboat Trail, and I walked down that through Nebraska, and that was like a peaceful trail away from the highway and interstate. And then when I crossed into Missouri, it was that same day that I finished the trail, and right when I got across the bridge over the Missouri River, I called previously to find out if the campground that was over there is called like the Rockport RV Park, and it was in Rockport, which is a small town.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see if I could camp there, so I was like, I'll call them first to make sure. So when I was on the Steamboat Trail, I called them, and they're like, yeah, you can come here, it's fine, like we'll be open until so and so time. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna get there probably a little late. So I got there around like it was only like 8:00, but it was dark, and they actually drove past, like they were like driving past. I see this like SUV like pull past and then stop in the middle of the street and then back up, and they're like, "Are you going to the Rockport RV Park?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, well, we own it, so do you want to ride there?" I'm like, no, like I'll walk. I'm like, "Oh, but that's cool."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, it's just right down the road." I'm like, "Okay, so I'll meet you there." So, I ended up getting there, and I tell them about the walk and all the stuff, and they gave me some cantaloupe.
Nice.
As you do.
That's actually a good score there. I love cantaloupe.
Honestly, I am not a melon person. I don't like
But-
cantaloupe or watermelon or honeydew or any of that stuff.
Right.
But
When
when
you've
you're
been
walking
walking-
across the country
Yeah,
and all
boy.
you eat is beef jerky and stuff, I'm gonna take some cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe hooks it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. So I ate some of that, and then they told me that their RV park actually like wasn't open too long before that because I guess there's like a huge flood the spring before that, and the year before I got there was like the whole area was flooded. So like they lost their cabins, they lost everything. So I was the only person camping there.
They were super stoked that you were coming to see them.
Dude, I was the only person in that area.
Yeah.
So the thing they said was the guy, because it was a husband and wife, they're like older, probably like in their 60s. Their names, which I do have. We don't have to make up names.
I'm not making up any names.
Okay.
When have I ever done that?
I know. Sorry. John and Edna.
Hey.
Sounds
John
like two
and
people
Edna.
from Missouri, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It definitely does.
So, yeah, they, I guess John was like fixing up some of the cabins over there, but like nobody was staying there. No one was camping there. And he even told me, he's like, hey, like you can stay here. We're not going to charge you. You can just, stay as long as you need to. He's like, but we don't have a bathroom here too. So I'm like, oh, that sucks. So
like, that sucks, but I'm used to it.
Yeah, I'm like, that's fine, but that sucks. So, because they had their own little RV that they were living out of for the time being, because the whole office area, and they said the whole area, like Rockport, everything by the Missouri River just got flooded, and all the crops got washed out, everything. So there was actually a McDonald's in Rockport, like a mile away.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll just go there if I have to go to the bathroom or something like that. So that's what I did. I ended up staying there 2 days because when I was on the Steamboat Trail, my the cart, like the front wheel, like messed up a lot, and then I got that fixed. But then the back wheel also came loose, and I think it was like the bearings or something like that. Like just kind of got stripped. I don't know the technical stuff side of it, but the wheel was like really wobbly. So like the guy John, I told him about it. I'm like, is there like a hardware store somewhere where I can maybe go and try to get this fixed? He's like, I'll help you with it. And I'm like, you sure? And I'm like, I don't want to take you away from, he's working on his cabins. Like he's building the rest of the cabins and stuff.
Right,
Like, I gotta
back up from scratch.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. He's like, no, it's fine. So
he's like, no, we'll stop and do this for you.
Yeah, we obviously know who's more important.
I
mean, all we had was a flood.
Oh, honey, this guy walking across the country. Alert the press.
Yeah.
Wallet guy needs something.
Don't worry.
Surprise.
Don't worry. We'll take care of you. Our value customer who's staying here for free. This is just our livelihood here.
Right.
So,
and you're just like, never mind. Oh, now we're not good enough.
Then after 20 minutes of that, he was like, no, like I'll take you into town and we'll fix it. So, as small towns are, I hop into like his RV. He drives me into town. We go to like I left the cart and everything, at the campsite. And then we go into town, we go to the hardware store. He knows like the hardware guy and pretty much everybody like in town.
Yeah.
Like just walking down the street.
There's that guy whose whole property was ruined by the flood.
Like
what's he doing?
Probably maybe 50 people that live in this town, so doing? They all know each other.
What's he doing with Wallet Guy?
Dude, is that Wallet Guy? Dude, I heard about Wallet Guy.
Ask him for a picture.
Ask him for at least an autograph.
Ask him, he'll hit you up with a Polaroid.
Dude, you think he'll sign my wallet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm going to have Wallet Guy sign my dick. I don't have anything on me.
I don't think Wallet Guy would be that well known. I mean, Wallet Guy was Wyoming. That was 2 states away.
Local hero. News travels fast.
Along those train tracks.
Yeah.
The ones you can't camp by.
Jesus.
Nah. I think, if anything, I would be more known as Tent Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Angrily known as Tent, it's fucking Tent Guy.
As the whole town went into poverty because Tent Guy decided to sleep next to the tracks.
You know who wouldn't do that? Wallet Guy. And then they find out, same guy. It's me. So, I went to the hardware store with John, and he bought all the stuff for me. I offered to pay. He was like, no, I got it. And then we went back to the campground, and he actually, he's like, well, give me your wheel and I'll try to fix it. And he actually had to solder off part of the metal to get the right bearing on and to get it all where it hooked back up together.
Yeah.
And then he actually, I think, fixed the other wheel too and put it so it was even. And then we tested it out. But it actually took him an hour and a half. And I was like, I kind of feel bad. Like you should be working on your cabins.
Yeah.
But honestly, there's no other way. Like, I don't even know what I would do if he didn't help me out after that. Like, because I wouldn't have been able to do that stuff. I didn't have the tools for that.
Yeah.
So I was like thinking to myself, like, what would I have done if he didn't do that stuff?
You'd have gone to a hardware store and begged for help.
Yeah. Please solder this and fix the bearings. I can't. What am I supposed to do? Like, the wheel was.
I will pay one of you happily to do this for me.
The wheel at one point was just like really wobbling back and forth. I'm like, this thing's gonna fall apart in a minute. Like, just. But luckily, he helped me fix it, and then I stayed there like an extra day. And I went to like McDonald's for like, I think, breakfast, lunch, and dinner that day. I don't know. It was like, I was there. I was like, it's the
Honestly,
only restaurant there.
What are you going to do? You're not going to go hang out with some friends.
Well, that's the thing is like, I stayed, I did start school. I did like a little bit of schoolwork, but I was already like kind of working ahead. I didn't really have a lot of homework or anything. Mm-hmm. But like, I sat in my tent most of the day, read books, listened to podcasts, and then, I was like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I can make it for a big breakfast at McDonald's. Might as well. Yeah. What else am I doing?
Yeah.
And then, like, when he fixed the tire.
Not hanging out with John.
No, well. And I kind of felt bad. I was like, should I, like, stay next to him and just, like, oh, thanks. Like, keep saying thank you, like, as he does.
Keep rubbing his back and thank you.
Yeah, rubbing his feet, oiling up his feet.
John, you're the man. Thank you.
It's the least I can do for blowing you fixing
blowing him little kisses. Thanks,
why
John.
not? Combing his hair, brushing his hair, brushing what's left of his hair because he was. I think he is. Yeah,
massaging the old earlobes.
Yeah,
John, if you're listening, we know this stuff didn't happen. We're just having a little bit of fun, buddy.
And he's not listening. I wouldn't think so. Anyways, after that, after Rockport, I decided to head south towards Mound City. But again, like I said, like there weren't like diagonal roads, which kind of sucked because I'm heading diagonal across the country. So I kind of had to go like down one country road, over a highway, down something like over, and it was like making like stairs almost, like just kind of like you either had to go like horizontal, vertical, rather than like any roads that went like diagonal. If I did find like a country road that went diagonal, I would try to take it and hope that it was a good road to walk on.
Yeah.
But I was never sure. And a lot of roads were like gravel, which kind of, I think that's what messed up my tires, was walking on these gravel, old ass roads. But
so, yeah, that's going to be tough, especially for what you've described as far as like your cart goes.
Yeah.
Had you ever? Well, I guess it wouldn't really be feasible because what if the tire popped? But I was like, one of the rubber tires.
Yeah, and at this point, I think I had one solid tube tire, so that one wasn't going to bust.
Yeah.
But the other one wasn't solid tube. But I think, let me think. Or did I think, no, maybe I did get it replaced when I went to the bike shop and I got both of them on. I can't remember if that was that time. I know eventually.
Your story's starting to not add up.
I know,
Rob.
it's probably
Did you
not,
even walk?
All right. You know what? Stop the podcast.
Episode
like
33, we find out Rob didn't actually do this and made up the whole thing.
That would be, you know how many people would be like pissed off?
All six that listen.
All six of them. Maybe five.
Yeah.
One of them would probably think it's funny.
Your mom would just be like, Robert,
where were you for those 6 months? Yeah, at Dad's house. Oh well. But no, like I think I had the two solid tube tires at this point because I was able to get the other one on eventually at that other, like in Montana. And I think I had it throughout. So the back tires were usually pretty good. It was the front tire that would get messed up. But when the bearings messed up on the back tire, that's when I had to get it replaced. But when I headed towards Mound City, which was another like, I don't know why it's called Mound City. I think it was like a town, so it should be called Mound Town, but that's okay. So
you didn't write a letter?
Yeah, I mean, I graffitied the whole town. So I was like, this is ridiculous. And I just wrote town everywhere, not city. I put town, not city. But when I headed there, it was funny because I left Rockport, and there was like the main interstate, but I was like, I'm not going to walk on that because it was heading towards like Kansas City and everything. And I was like, no, I'm going to like jump on the highway. But I jumped on like this one highway to the left of the interstate. And as I was walking along that, it turned into like gravel roads, and I didn't even make it that far when a cop like drove up.
Yeah,
he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Of course, because like every day I talk.
Get
to
on
cops.
your stomach.
Yeah. Don't you dare tell me you have a tent, because I swear to God, there's a railroad track coming up, and you better not even think about it.
We got a railroad within 25 miles of this location. What are you doing here with a tent, boy?
Locked and loaded, pop tent.
Yep.
So he like pulled up, and I told him like what I was doing. He's like, "Oh, you don't want to walk this way." He's like,
a lot of trouble down that route.
He said there's like this one guy, and it probably was an old man Jim, but he was like, "Old man Jim lives down this road, and he owns a couple of dogs, and they'll tear you a new one." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "You don't want to mess with them dogs." And I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "Well, I didn't see
a
any
police
dogs."
officer is telling you,
Yeah, yeah.
there are animals down this road that should be contained.
Yeah, that should be at least like leashed up or in the house or something.
Yeah,
but they weren't.
But if you go down there, they will hurt you.
Yeah, which is like really weird. And then he's like, he's like, "Where are you heading? I can drive you there." I go, "No, I can't cheat. I have to walk the whole way." He's like, "Well,
shut up, loser. Get in the car."
Yeah, and then he pulled his gun and shot me in the leg.
Where are you walking now, boy?
So no, he's like, "Well, then take the other highway on the other side of the interstate." I'm like, "Fine." He's like, "Let me just drive you to the other side." I'm like, "Well, that's fine, because that's where I started." So I'm like, "If you drive me to that spot, I can do that, because I already walked that." I'm like, "But I can't. You can't." Like, he's like, I didn't want to cheat. He's like, "No, I get it." So I got in.
Whatever,
he put the cart in, and as we drove, he like did a U-turn, but he drove down the road a little bit, and I saw the dogs like right around the bend. They were just like outside. He's like, "That's the dogs." He
goes,
pointed them.
"That's
I'm
them."
like, so they would have attacked me? Like, that's what you're saying? Like, why is that okay? Like, that's weird.
Right.
I don't know.
How about I'm going to go up the road and tell Mr. whatever his name is to put his
not
dogs
have
away.
Dogs that are just wild and
Right. Sir, there's somebody walking down this public road. And
That's what I thought was, like,
put your dangerous dogs back in the house.
Dude, they were dangerous.
Take Pebbles and Cinnamon and put them back in the house.
You know how we talked about that antelope?
Yes.
Okay, these dogs, worse than the antelope.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you should have seen. They were like sharpening knives. Like, they were just out there just sharpening them, and it was
Cat
scary.
calling the car.
Yeah.
Hey, boy,
Yeah.
turn around.
Hey, go ahead, copy. Let that guy out.
Copy.
I don't know. I assume that's what they say.
Hey, pig boy.
let that little boy out.
Let that little swine out of the car. We're going to make him squeal.
Shing. So, anyways, turn around. He drove me back to the other highway.
We're going to leave our southern Louisiana dogs back at
yeah.
back at the property.
There. But so he dropped me off on the highway, and then like he's like, "All right, well, you can just head down this, and it'll take you into like Mountain City." So I did. I walked all the way to Mountain City. Now
Mount City Town?
Mountain Town. I'm just gonna call it Mountain Town. You know what I mean? Like, I doubt anybody from Mountain City's listening, so I'm not gonna offend them.
Oh,
So
boy.
we're just gonna do.
Oh,
Mountain Town.
boy.
Okay. I'm just talking about their name. I'm not saying the people there are ridiculous.
You're already asking for a letter. We've already gotten 3.
Yeah, all from
We've
like
got
little towns.
3 angry letters so far.
All from
About towns
the
that we have
antelope and the
openly
2
joked
dogs.
about. Yeah. Towns that we've openly joked about have sent us letters.
Yep.
Angry.
Cease and desist.
Yeah.
They said, "Don't ever mention our town again."
Mention our town again on your stupid little podcast.
Yep. Where
We'll
all
get the
6 of
law
those people are
involved.
listening.
Yeah.
We will. Yeah. So we expect.
Yeah.
Well, you listen. If the cops get involved, they get involved.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna not tell my story.
No. Freedom of
Jack.
speech.
I have to tell this story.
I'm behind you.
That's why I wanted to do this podcast. I gotta let this out.
I fully support you unless they show up.
You know, before this podcast, I was sitting in my room just telling the story to the wall.
Just crying.
Just in the corner of my room, just saying the story. I needed an outlet.
Yeah.
So that's what this podcast is.
Actually, the story of how this podcast got birthed is somebody at your job was
Yeah.
like, man, you should talk about the...
Yeah, I talk about like doing
Talk
a
about
story
the walk.
and stuff. And I was
And
like,
you
yeah.
came to me and were like, hey, Jack, I don't want to say this to myself.
I didn't want to do like
the
by-
mic.
like I could have
Yeah.
done it by myself and
Yeah.
just talked, but it's not.
It's easier when you have somebody else to engage
to
with.
bounce off of. Yeah, so I didn't want to like do that.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't like hearing my own voice.
You don't?
No.
Wow.
How do you feel about my voice?
I
No, on a scale from 1 to 10, 8 being the highest and 4 being the lowest.
Okay.
How would you rate my voice?
I'm going to give you... Can I go into decimal points?
To the tenths.
Okay. I am going to give you...
No, hundredths. You can do 2.2.
I'm still going to go tenths just
okay,
because
but you can't.
Well, then I'm just gonna, number.
I'm going to add a 0 at the end just so I can process it.
Okay. I'm going to give you 6/800ths.
Wait, 6.8?
Yeah.
Or wait, 6/800ths.
Yeah.
Okay. I said and you said twice. So you know what? I'm just gonna say,
I'll say
I can
this,
handle. I can do
of
that.
all the podcasts that I have done with you and all these characters.
Yeah.
I don't like my voice either. I haven't listened to a single one of them.
Yeah, you haven't listened, but that's just because you're not a fan.
I am a huge fan. I like it. I just don't want to listen to it. Go, God, this really sucks.
That would be pretty funny if you voiced all these characters and did this podcast, and then you just outside of this, you just told people oh, it just sucks.
Don't listen to him.
Yeah, don't listen to those podcasts, man. They suck.
Yeah.
Ugh, horrible stuff.
What was the one guy's review just crushed me.
Which one?
I don't. He goes, I love this podcast. There's just not enough of it.
Yeah. End of all hope.
Oh.
End of all hope. One of the podcasts we do, the sci-fi one. The guy gave us 2 stars.
2 stars
out of 5.
Love the story. Love the writing.
Love the acting.
Love the acting.
Which was surprising.
Not enough. 2 stars.
Yeah, not enough content. 2 stars. I'm I'm releasing every 2 weeks. Listen, if this was my day job, I would release one every week.
If this
at
is
least
my day job,
yeah.
we'd be all over this.
Yeah, but it's not. So you gotta deal with it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But in another note,
do you want to wrap up?
No, I was going to talk about Paralyzed.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about
the wonderful milestone we just passed.
Well, we'll wrap up the walk, but let's do some plug stuff.
Let's pluggy plug then.
We haven't pluggy plugged
plug
in a while.
pluggaroo. All right. So we've got Atlas Avenue Beat.
Yeah.
That is
Film
dangerously approaching the end of season 1.
Yeah, 2 episodes left. Just released one this week, so episode 11 and 12 come out soon. 12 is an extra long episode, and that's our film noir spoof.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go to 7lamb.com.
Following James Locke.
Yeah, James Locke, who is a private investigator.
And his best friend, Paul.
Yeah, Paul and his secretary, Edith.
Edith is one of my favorite characters on that show. When I read her lines,
Edith.
I think Edith is funny as hell.
Yeah. Edith is like a Harley Quinn meets a Judy Holliday.
Don't talk about your inspirations. All right, then we've got End of All Hope,
which is our sci-fi apocalyptic tale about 3 friends traveling across the country from New York to California during an alien invasion.
Yep. And what they kind of interact with.
Yeah.
Season 2, right?
Yeah, we're in season 2
has taken an interesting turn.
And
it's following 2 different groups.
Yeah. And people are liking it. People are liking it. It's getting a lot of downloads, and we got about 7 episodes left for season 2.
A lot of DLs.
Yeah. That's downloads?
Yeah.
Okay. I listen, you could have been anything. I just wanted to make sure. I
appreciate you going the extra mile.
Exactly. Well, I do it for the listeners.
I did it to speed things up, and you negated that by having me explain it.
Right.
But whatever.
It doesn't matter. I just wanted to.
Yeah, the people have turned this off by now anyway.
Yeah. No one listens to pluggy plugs.
Yeah. And then we have.
Wait, before you go to Paralyzed, do Story.
I was about to.
Oh, okay.
Then we have Story.
I thought you were going to go Paralyzed.
No, Story is going, I think, and I don't know if I speak for you, it's going surprisingly well.
Yeah, Story is going strong. It's our dramedy about this walk. It's a dramatization of the walk with actual characters. It follows John as he walks across the country with his other friends who just graduated college.
Yes, John is Rob. The friends that graduated college are non-existent.
Yeah. I mean, they're I take some liberties with different things.
Yep.
But a lot of the stuff I talk about in this...
It's meant to be for entertaining, but a lot of the actual stuff that happened... If this was a movie, it would say based on a true story.
Right. Exactly.
Not like Ghost in the Darkness, where it says all the crazy things in this movie really happened.
Not all... It wasn't even male lions.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Well, I meant, sorry, it was, but it wasn't they didn't have manes and stuff.
They did not
They
have
were
manes.
not like the big maned ones.
No. They look like mountain lions. They look like huge mountain lions.
They were in they stuffed them and put them
They're in the
Chicago
Museum.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked that movie when I was a kid. I
loved
haven't seen it in a while.
I didn't understand where Michael Douglas went until I was a little older.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He died.
I was like, oh,
Well, spoiler.
gotcha.
Yeah. No, but Story's doing really well, and the downloads, or sorry, Jesus, the DLs are like really doing it.
What is he talking about? The DLs. What is that?
We're getting a lot of DLs for Story too, so it's really picking up. And people have been commenting on Reddit saying that they really like it, and I'm surprised because it's a dramedy, and most people like horror science fiction.
Yeah, that's been a big thing. Everybody likes the science fiction. That's kind of why I like The Walk.
Yeah,
and Atlas Avenue Beat, when they get some attention, when they get a little love.
Yeah, when people are
because
tweeting
everybody
about
wants the. There's nothing wrong with that genre. They want the zombies attacking and killing everyone.
It's a fun genre to listen to.
It is.
But
after so many times of hearing, I'm like, I'm turning this off.
Exactly. But we should talk about our horror podcast.
Well, yeah, which has a lot of
screeches.
Yeah,
a lot of monsters.
Which is
a lot of death.
Paralyzed.
Which is about David, who suffers from sleep paralysis, and a lot of his nightmares are becoming a reality.
You know what, dude? It was so funny. I had a friend of mine tell me the other day, without knowing anything about Paralyzed, he claims to be my best friend. Rhino, you're a piece of shit.
Right.
He claims to be my best friend, but knows nothing about all these podcasts.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, man, I have sleep paralysis. Have you ever heard about that? And I was like, no, tell me more.
Yeah.
Tell me about sleep paralysis.
Dude, tell him to listen to the podcast.
He's an asshole.
He won't do it.
Yeah.
But Paralyzed did just hit a milestone.
It did.
Yeah. How many DLs?
I'm sorry. I had to get back and apologize to Rhino for calling him an asshole. I love you, buddy. Okay. Anyway, it got to 250,000 DLs.
250,000 DLs.
That is huge.
That's good.
That's like a big thing.
That's a big thing. It's a big thing for us because we've been working on that one. I've actually was working on it before I met you.
Yep.
And then because of certain issues, losing an editor and the star and everything like that, we had to revamp it.
Yep.
Put it back out and like pick it up from there. And we've been on a 2-week release schedule ever since. And it's like because of that, I think is why it's jumped so high.
You know, nothing against any of your people, but it's good to get on the schedule, man. It's good to get going. Dude. If you don't have people that don't want to do it, and I know life gets crazy sometimes.
It does. Life gets in the way.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, this podcast.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes because we got stuff going on.
Yep.
To release it every week.
And it's not our full-time job.
Yeah, that too.
I have 2 full-time jobs. I am a bank manager, and I have 2 little babies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the drug thing. Okay, so we're not mentioning that. Okay, no, it's all right. You got to tell me that before we start the podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, so and we still got. I mean, we don't have to go into detail about cop doctors or chair swords right now because those are kind of like taking a back seat right now because of the other ones are doing so well. But you know, we have plenty of fictional content. So if you go to 7lamb.com, which is the number 7 lamb.com, you can find all of our podcasts on here. Or on there, all the fictional stuff, along with Across America, and we're trying to get finish up the blog, which is the blog I wrote while on the walk. So that should be up soon. Part of it's up right now. You can go look it up. But I want to get some of the more pictures on there and stuff. So
good stuff.
Cool.
That's episode 33. Episode 34 coming at you live.
Nope.
After being recorded.
You're right. Okay. Yep.
Live whenever you listen to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's live.
Yeah.
It's live.
It's That's live. Fine. 100% live.
Yeah.
We're going to have Regis Philbin. Bye.
This has been a 7 Lamb production.